Yo, what is going on, sports fans? Welcome into the Buzzin' Sports Podcast. As always, we are on our DraftKings shees on these episodes, and we're going to give you the best of what we can this week. I'm your host, Doug Lightning Leche, a.k.a. Big money this week, baby.
Fuck with your boys.
Like that. To the left of me, as always, is Spuddy McGee.
What's going on, everyone? How's it doing? How we happening? Yeah. That's it.
And to the right of me, as always, is Mr. Francis.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back. Week 3. Let's get it.
What's up, boys? We ready?
No.
Yes, sir.
Recap of last week, average week. Wasn't bad, wasn't great.
Not great.
Lot of injuries actually happened this past weekend, so maybe a lot of names might pop up you wouldn't expect this week. I hope you've been playing the waiver game in your fantasies, but this isn't fantasies. This is DraftKings, baby. You know the vibes. We're going to give you the top two dollar picks in both. Wait, what am I saying? Okay, hang on. Calm down, chill. You guys are a little too excited. I'm feeling the energy right now. Francis is over here damn near standing up out of his seat.
Fuck with
I'm
your
ready.
boys.
I'm ready.
Stop hovering over me, dude. I'm nervous.
All right. My bad.
It's okay.
Yo, hold on. Yes, thank you.
It was on his forehead, everybody. Don't trip.
Listen, everyone. We're all in our own house. Okay. All right, go ahead. I had to make that clear. Go ahead, dude.
As always, on these episodes, we have fun. But we're going to give you our top two value guys in each position and our top two money saver guys in each position. And we're going to start here with the QBs like we do. Hike. I'm looking at these lineups right now. A lot of good top dollar guys if you guys want to do that. But, name of the game this week is money saver QBs. And I got a lot of good money saver QBs. If you want to spend money, but low amount of money, at $6,900, look no farther. Kurt Cobain Cousins. You like that?
No.
I don't want him to be a bitch ass this week. I'm rooting. Well, the first thing that should stick out of you is that big giant green 31 right under the price tag. What else should stand out is the Chargers. It's at Minnesota. Chargers, I don't think I need to explain any more than that. Have had two people throw on their asses and come back and win the game. Like we said off air, this can be a 20-point swing back and forth in this fourth quarter. So even if it's not, I think Kirk Cousins with Jettas is a solid lock. He's back-to-back weeks over 20 points. Last week got 30. I don't know if he'll hit 30 again, but I can see anywhere in between 25 to 30. So I think 6,900 is a expensive, cheap pick. Keeping it with the expensive cheap, we're gonna go right below him at 6,800. Trevor Lawrence.
Yes, sir. This is the one.
He was very disappointing last week. So I think the Jags are looking to have a bounce back week. I think a lot of players on that team, including the receivers and running backs, had a bit of a step back from what they did the first week. They're at home and they're going against a weaker opponent. I know it's a division opponent, but let's not sit up here and act like Houston's anything to be scared of. So I think Trevor Lawrence will be a safe 23 to 25 point pick this week, if that's what you're looking for in the QBs. Sliding down below the 6,000 mark into our real money savers. Now, these are the real guys y'all need to be looking at this week. And we're going to stick with that Houston game at 5,300. I think CJ Stroud is a solid pick for this week's
Interesting.
for this week's value.
Interesting.
I don't think Texans will win this game or anything like that, but I get the vibe. CJ Stroud is going to be this year's garbage time money guy.
Garbage time greatness.
Yeah, last week they got their asses handed to the Colts. Scoreboard doesn't say it because they scored those points in garbage time, and CJ Stroud was able to work his way up to 25 points. Probably you trust me, you're probably going to be all through 3/4 of the game in the lows, but trust me, when the fourth quarter hit, it gonna hit.
So this is this year's Blake Bortles.
Yes, this is this year's Blake Bortles. I think he'll be doing a lot of garbage times greatness because I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I just don't think they're a good team. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think any of these rookie quarterbacks have been show me anything Zach Wilson-y where I'm like, yeah, you're not cut with this cloth, kid. But most QBs the rookie QBs this year actually look pretty
good,
legit. Yeah, legit. So I think CJ Stroud would do garbage time greatness this game if Houston maybe for 2 quarters or a half keeps it entertaining. But I do think Jags win this game. But I do think CJ Stroud will put up another 20 to 25 points in that 5,300. I'm looking for that.
I like it.
Now sliding below this guy, brother. We're going 5,100. This is going to be the 1, maybe 2 week you can play the mustache. Garnu Minshew the second, baby.
Let's go. I love the zany pick.
AR's ruled out?
Yeah.
He's concussion protocol right now, so I would say, yeah.
If you click it, it says, oh, wait.
He's Q.
Hang on. Q, yeah. Okay. He's concussion protocol. I don't know if he will play. I don't know if he passes, if the Colts will want him to play. I mean, I'm pretty sure you do. You tell him don't run as much, but I don't know. But I think if Garner Minshew plays this weekend, he could be a play. Nobody's going to be looking at him. He's 5,100. I think there's going to be a lot of good wide receiver and running back matchups this week, so why not save money in that area? And look, 5,100, I can see Gardner Minshew getting you 20 points, and if that's at that price, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So those are my 4 guys this week to be on the lookout for. What are you boys feeling?
I mean, damn, you touched the ones that I was really liking. Kirk Cousins. To add to your Kirk Cousins pick, it is the highest over/under of the week at 54. I mean, I didn't have to tell you that for you guys to know that this is going to be a shootout game, or it's projected to be at least. Kirk Cousins, because of Justin Jefferson, is absolutely great for fantasy football on DFS because he consistently gets over the 300 yards passing. And those 3 extra bonus points are nice.
That's one quarterback you could trust to go over 300.
And just and just by looking at the roster too, you could have kind of seen this coming before the season started. This team was not going to run the football. They are a throwing. They have Justin Jefferson. They have Hawkinson, Addison. What's that other guy? Osborne, I think is his last name.
They got rid of Cook and the league, and everyone was like, "Well, are you going to find a replacement?" They said, "Why?"
Yeah,
we're not going to run it.
We're not running shit. Who's back there? I don't know. Whoever's next. Hey, we're throwing.
We got someone there. Doesn't mean he's going to do anything.
Who's back there? Whoever's next.
Hey, what's it say on the depth chart? It says Madison. Okay,
he's up.
He's up. We're throwing the ball 44 times. He does not matter.
The 4 times you get it, show and prove.
So that's the thing. That both games back to back, they've thrown the ball over 40 times. He's gotten over 300 yards passing. He's thrown multiple touchdowns. It does not matter if he's ahead or behind. It's always a close game, and they're always going to throw the football. So Kirk Cousins, great pick, great matchup. Trevor Lawrence also, like we were talking about off air, that's kind of a sneaky, high scoring for the Jags, at least for the Jags. Looking across the slate, honestly, if AR is healthy and he's good to go, I would take a chance on AR. He's looked great the first 2 weeks when he's been playing. He was on his way to a 30-point, in my opinion, a 30-plus point game. The Texans, they could not stop him. So if AR is healthy, if there's no setbacks, he is in concussion protocol. I definitely think he's a start. What are you thinking, Spuddy?
I like how Dougie went with CJ Stroud.
Stroud.
So, and speaking of rookies, you know who I like? I like Bryce Young. Against the
He doesn't look bad either.
Yeah, against the Seattle defense that's not particularly the best, especially how they started off this season. He played against a hard New Orleans defense, and he only managed to fumble the ball. He didn't throw a pick or anything, and they let him throw it a little bit too. Not saying he has the best receiving core or anything like that over there, but I just feel like they're okay. Let me bunch up CJ and Bryce Young real quick. I like how they're treating these two. They're not saying we're trying to throw the season, but at the same time they're just letting them play rather than just hand off the ball the whole time.
They're basically like, "Hey, look, you two, we're not trying to win the Super Bowl here. Not like obviously that's the goal, but look at the team.
They're like,
we're rebuilding, so we just want you to go out there and get touches
develop.
And put it. Develop. We just want you to develop.
You know, if obviously we each game we're going to try to win, but if we don't, we can't get mad.
Yeah,
we're not going to be mad. So I like the approach, and I want to say it was the Carolina game. They kind of mentioned that how they're treating Bryce Young with a lot of positive reinforcements. Like they're just encouraging him even when they're down and everything. It's more a very positive reaction, like very not toxic over there.
And they're not playing bad. I mean, I know they're losing games, but it's not like where it's like, they're losing games because of you. No, you're just losing games because the team as a whole is.
It's a little questionable.
Yeah, because I mean, then I look at the run game. The run game's not really helping him out too much either. You know, I was like, damn, like where's Miles Sanders at? Because I don't see him.
I remember my dad this week in Francis. Who's Chubba Hubbard? I've never even heard of him.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if they start giving the ball to Chubba a little bit more.
I'm telling you.
Because, I mean, Miles ain't looking too hot. Yeah. So, but I like Bryce Young this week. I think he could do some work at 5,200.
I like it.
How do we feel about the other side of Kirk Cousins, Justin Herbert, 75?
I don't know. I mean, it was good to see that he went 41 attempts last week for over 300 yards, barely.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
There was no Eckler. Yeah, I remember that. They went for a lot with him because there was no Eckler. Eckler might be back this week, so that kind of like.
Seeing clips from that game, I'm surprised he barely made it over 300 yards. It just seems like they were airing it out, and Keenan Allen had a huge game also. So, yeah. I mean, it does seem like Kirk does hit the over 300 a lot.
That's
naturally.
Honestly, that's why I drafted Kirk Cousins, and it's funny how he fell, because I'm like, it's like, dude, like, I know he's not a winning quarterback when he needs to, but damn it, there's more games that he doesn't need to than games that he needs to.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what's funny about that? It's like everyone will agree with you if you said Justin Jefferson is projected number 1 overall pick. Okay, but how does he get the ball though?
Exactly.
So if you're saying he's the clear number 1 overall pick, then why wouldn't you value Kirk Cousins with him?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And people can tend to confuse regular football for fantasy football, where it's like, yeah, you may say Kirk Cousins is a bad quarterback because he doesn't win games or whatever, or playoff games, but it's like, that don't matter. We don't care about that fantasy. We care about numbers.
Give us those stats.
We don't
Kirk
give a
Cousins
fuck about
is
that.
Shirtless with the chains on when it comes to numbers. He's that Kirk Cousins.
Yes. And the beauty about both of these teams, because Vikings and Chargers, any given weekend, whatever matchup, they give you the potential to pick players to play from both ahead and behind. Because they're going to give you both in the same game. At some point, your team, if you pick on that team, they're going to be ahead or they're going to be behind. And so it's great for DFS because nothing ever gets completely taken out of the game. The run game is still relevant. The passing game is still relevant. If you do fall into a huge deficit against the Chargers or the Vikings, your receivers are going to eat because you're going to come back into this game. Mm-hmm. They're gonna fall apart somehow, and your quarterback and your receivers are gonna start making plays. So they're great teams to pick on for DFS and fantasy overall.
Everyone wins.
Yep.
Everybody wins.
Anything else on the QBs, or should we move on to these RVs?
Yeah, I think we've hit it.
All right. That being said, to recap the QBs this week, I have in our top dollar pick, Kirk Cousins at 6,900. I have Trevor Lawrence with the bounce back game at 6,800. For my two value guys to look at this week, I have CJ Stroud at 5,300. And the mustache Gardner Minshew at 5,100. And I'm going to hand off the ball to Francis, and I'm going to keep my hands to myself. Go ahead.
Let me just grab that shit real quick. Okay, what's good, everybody?
I knew I was getting the cat.
Starting off on this running back slate for week 3, DraftKings, Sunday Millionaire. I'm going with Bijan Robinson, 7,800.
Ooh.
At the Lions.
Wait a second.
I am Wait, what's going on? What's going on?
I had to reach in my pocket to get the change for that one.
Oh, got it. Bijan is for real. He is for real. I'm going to admit I didn't do my homework in the offseason on him. I just knew he was projected to be drafted high in fantasy leagues. And people were right.
Yeah.
Oh. Bijan is for real. He is in a perfect situation where this offense is basically a run-only offense or run-heavy offense. He scored at least 20 points back-to-back. I like the matchup against the Lions. Kenneth Walker had a pretty decent day against the Lions. So Bijan just off eye test. You guys seen the play. You guys seen that 3-cut play that he did. Mm-hmm. He's for real. To me, I'm like, okay, yeah. I don't really see guys or running backs moving like that in the NFL right now. So Bijan is for real. I will take my chance with him every week. 7,800. I think he's worth it.
Double down.
My second top guy is going to be Etney Jr. if he plays, which I think he will because he's only dealing with cramps. At 6,900 at home against the Texans.
Hang on. This guy's been hurt with cramps? You have your stressing, you just cramping. If you don't eat a fucking banana and get out there, get some potassium in you, brother. Eat some orange slices, something.
So I trust that Etney is going to play. He is at home. He has a great matchup against the Texans, who are projected to be behind in a lot of these games. I do think the Jags have a bounce-back game. Etney should see a lot of touches, especially if the Jags go up early. They should see a lot of red zone chances. So Etney's upside for this matchup, I like. Let me see. Moving on to value, my first one, I'm going to go with him again. At home against the Bears, Pacheco at 5,400. I am not giving up on Pacheco. I don't think the Chiefs are going to give up on Pacheco. He had 12 rushing attempts for 70 yards. Very efficient. You would like to see him used more in the passing game. Only got 2 targets last game. But I do think he has a good matchup. I do think the Chiefs go up early in this game, and then Pacheco kind of gets him onto cruise control. And I think he breaks out for a couple big plays just because the Bears are not good at all right now. So go ahead, Dougie.
No.
Okay. My second value is going to be Gus Edwards, the Ravens at home, 5,300. Yes, sir. Gus Edwards. He got into the end zone last week, but what did I say? I say, by default, he is not a starting running back. They go to him whenever their starting running back, a.k.a. J.K. Dobbins, goes down, and he did. So Gus Edwards takes the reins, and every time he takes the reins, he's efficient when he touches the ball. He only got 10 touches last week at 62 rushing yards. 62 rushing yards with the touchdowns. So off those numbers alone, average 6 yards a carry. If Gus Edwards just touches the ball 15 to 20 times, give himself a great day. And at home against the Colts, I like that matchup. I don't think the game away from the Ravens at any point where the run game kind of disappears. Yeah. So I think Gus Edwards stays relevant for that whole game, and I think he gets his goal line chances. So 5,300, I'll take it.
Let's go.
And yeah, that's gonna do it for my picks of the week. I'm gonna let you guys have the floor.
Okay, Bryce Hall against the Patriots, 4 touches last game. They have to give the ball more to him because when he went over 100 yards against the Bills, and then this week I know it was against the Cowboys, and they were put down pretty early. Still, 4 touches.
Yeah, that's not enough for one of your best players. Now that Zach Williams, Zach Wilson's in there,
and I get that he's splitting with Dalvin Cook, but Breece Hall is the efficient back. You got Zach Wilson as your quarterback, which is a scary thing. 3 picks last week, and you still said 4 touches. 4 touches, Hall.
That's all you get, Paul.
Well, I know he's going against the Patriots, but you need to feed him the ball. He was dynamic. He was dynamic last year before his injury, and he showed his first game back to be that dynamic too, while still splitting with Cook.
Cowboys was a perfect storm of a great defense and game script. They fell behind. So not only did it take away touches from Breece Hall, but whenever he did get the touches, he couldn't do anything because it was a great defense.
But I'll tell you, I'll tell you this though, it wasn't that they were that far behind. I mean, it didn't take until the third to fourth quarter to really be like, okay, we need to catch up now. Like throughout the game, they could have really, he should have at least got 10 touches before half.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. This is a great matchup to bounce back. They're at home. I don't think the Patriots are explosive at all by any means. So the game script shouldn't get out of hand. And honestly, the Patriots defense is mid right now.
Yeah,
they're not anything that special.
Perfect opportunity to light them up.
Yeah, perfect. Yep, I agree.
Second guy going against a harder defense though, Zach Moss. I think Zach Moss can finally spread his wings in this offense that that actually likes to run the ball a little bit more. He had a really good game last week against Houston. I know it's against Houston, but it was still they gave him the ball 18 times, caught 4 targets, and got a touchdown. So, I mean, I don't know if he'll repeat the same success against Baltimore, but I feel like the idea of those touches for that price is pretty good.
Yep.
22 touches, basically. 22 touches for that price. Possibilities there.
I like that you brought him up because personally, I go back and forth with him on if I'm sold on Zach Moss being legit or where he's a consistent back. And I don't have an answer still. I feel like I have to see it. I don't.
I agree with you, but I feel like the talent is there.
Okay.
I think the talent is there. He never got the chance in Buffalo to really show it because we see how Buffalo is with the running backs.
Yeah.
It's not a good place. I mean, that's why, that's why they still have trouble having the running back. I mean, James Cook did have a really great game, but we know it's up and down. A lot of running backs had one great game in Buffalo, then after.
True.
So I mean, that's something to monitor. But I think Zach Moss in Indy have a really better running scheme for him to be better.
What about you, Dougie? What you thinking?
I think one name you got to look at this week. Jerome Ford. I mean, 4,800. He's pretty cheap. He's the full-time back there now that Chubbs went down, unless they grab someone this week. But, I mean, tomorrow's already Wednesday, so...
I heard Kareem Hunt is in the house.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when in doubt, man's been there for X amount of years, and why not bring him right back? So that's always a play if Kareem Hunt doesn't get signed before.
No, I don't think he'll play if he gets signed this.
Yeah,
week.
but even then, and even if he did play, like he still, I mean, this year's playbook might be different from last year's. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Ford's getting the start this weekend. So it's the Titans, so why not? I mean, 4,800, pretty cheap if you want to go really cheap in that position, or if you're looking to fill. Let's say you're looking for that last flex that can help you get like at least a defense because you want to keep who you have. It's a cheap guy, so just a name I think to mention. Other than that, I think you guys really landed the nail on the hammer. Actually, one guy I think maybe we could look at to have a solid 20 to 25 point games is Kenneth Walker. He's going against a weaker Carolina defense. I think Seahawks are going to be up this game, so I think they're going to be running it a lot. So I think he could see a lot of touches. So that's another name to look out for. But other than that, like I said, you guys pretty much got it.
How do you guys? Okay, before we move on, how do you guys feel about the guy right below him, Raheem Mostert at 6,000 at home against the Broncos?
Hey, Mostert's been quietly had a nice week too, So I don't know. Dolphins use him, but the only thing about Dolphins is like what scares me about Dolphins and running backs is like, is it going to be a running week or is it going to be Tua airing it out? Like, is it a Tyreek week or is it a running back week?
It's just, yeah, that's true. It's just after what I saw Brian Robinson do to the Broncos defense, I'm like, Mostert could do
that, yeah.
do better than that. Like Brian Robinson is nowhere near as fast as Mostert, but it's hard to tell how that offense operates sometimes.
All right, as a Niners fan, are you like, I'm happy for you that you're staying healthy, but at the same time, now you want to be healthy?
I just mentioned this last week. I'm looking at him like living his best life. Like
living your best life, huh?
Living your best life, huh? No gimpy injury here. No nickups there.
He's like, no, this coach doesn't work the fuck out of us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's probably true. It's crazy to think he's 31 years old already. But he made a good point. Like he said it himself, he's like, yeah, I'm old in age, but I don't really have a lot of usage because in the first 5 years in the league, I was special teams. Like I wasn't getting running back usage like that. Yeah. So it's still pretty fresh. But all right, recapping my picks. Top pick. First one is Bijan Robinson against the Lions, 7,800. Second is gonna be Etney Jr. at home against the Texans, 6,900. For my first value, I am going Pacheco at home against the Bears at 5,400. And for my last value, it's going to be Gus Edwards at home against the Colts, 5,300. All right, spinning this thing to Spuddy. He is going to talk about wide receivers. Go ahead, Spuddy.
This is hard because I know this week one of the top 5 guys will be a game slater, like game slate breaker.
Breaking the slate?
Yeah, breaking the fucking slate. I know it. I feel it. Now, the question is who?
Which one?
Who? And this is where I'm stressed at because I don't know who. Because...
Can I ease your mind a little bit?
What?
I said, let me ease your mind a little bit. I think this is the week JJ finally gets in.
That's why. See. That's what I'm hoping. That's where I'm going with, and that's where I want to lean at. But I've seen crazier shit in the Charger game before, so that's a limit. Because here's the thing: JJ still hasn't made a touchdown. Tyreek Hill, which we kind of saw it coming, was shut down by Patriots because they love to shut down the best player. But Waddle had a great game. Mm-hmm. Diggs had a great game first week, but had a down week, like kind of a down week last week. So there's a possible, rise up again. So your top 3 boys are ready for a big game. Ahmad St. Brown got a tougher defense against Atlanta since it says 5, but.
And then 2 game shit. It's too early. They just gave him the 5.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But he is hit with that Q. And then CD Lamb seems to be like the main target to Dak right now.
No, they're using him.
Yeah, they're using them because if you see the difference between yards in the last game, it was like 100-yard difference from Tony Pollard to CD Lamb, who was the next receiver, second best receiver. So yep. I with that being said, spend your money, spend it high. We're going JJ, ride 'em high.
I like it.
9,300. Usually I don't like going that high, ladies and gentlemen, but Spuddy's stamp of approval of Slate Breaker. Slate Breaker!
Ooh, Slate Breaker. Calling it
right here. It's Slate Breaker. Yeah, JJ hasn't scored, which means he's going to get his 100 yards again, but he's going to get 2 touchdowns for making up for the last 2 for not getting touchdowns. It's funny because like Chargers have names on defense, but they've turned into a high risk, high reward defense, meaning they will allow a lot of yards. They will get burnt like toast. But they're all for the sacks and the interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is going to have a perfect game against this defense, but there's going to be mistakes from this defense, which leads to that high-scoring shootout game that we're all seeing. So that's why JJ is going to get his separation from these corners on the Chargers defense. He's going to get open. He's going to score. I'm going to say a 60-plus touchdown. Well, one of his touchdowns is going to be 60-plus yards.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, JJ, we're going to hide the best guy this week. I like JJ.
Okay, I like him too.
Going to my next top dollar pick. Now, this is one of those weeks where you can't have you can't have the two top dollar guys on the same slate because it might just be too much. It might just be too much. But I got Tyreek Hill versus the Denver Broncos 9th. I'm going for the two top guys.
Let's go.
This is a rare moment by me.
Fuck with your boy.
But I mean,
fuck with your boys.
Yeah, top dollar guys are both the top guys here, and I mean, Tyreek's speed is ridiculous. Yeah, he got touches and he got a touchdown last week, but at the same time, it wasn't very splashy. And Tyreek Hill is a splash player, and against this Denver defense, I think he'll make a lot of splashes, especially in Miami. So, and I think a lot of that adds to Tua. Honestly, Tua didn't have a clean game last week as well. So, going against this Denver defense, I think he'll have a better week, better protection, which means Tyreek will get open eventually and break one out for big yard plays. So I like Tyreek Hill this week for my second top dollar guy.
Like it.
With that being said, I am not going off this wagon when it comes to my value picks. You already know where I'm going with Nico Collins at 5,300, who recently got a nice raise. Good for you, my friend.
All aboard the Nico train.
I expect the production to be the same. I expect him to have some good yardage and a touchdown. Him and CJ having great chemistry. And yeah, we're going with Nico. We're going with Nico.
Love it. Love that pick.
I'm on the train.
Next one.
Woo-hoo.
We're going a little up. At $5,400.
Don't say it.
We're going Zay Flowers.
I like it.
He's scared of me.
Why?
I like
you
it.
Thought Kirk?
Yeah, I thought you were going Christian Kirk.
I mean, he had a great game last week. He had a great game last week. So,
he did.
I love Flowers.
But
I love Flowers this week.
It seems like that's developing well when it comes to receivers. Lamar and Flowers. You get a little bit of glimpse of Marquise Brown and Lamar in that relationship. Just little glimpses. So that's good. I think that continues against a Indianapolis Colts that secondary is not the greatest. So I expect some big plays out of Baltimore. This actually might be a shootout.
Ooh.
You know, another under the radar one. Another under the radar one. So yeah, those are my guys. I'm gonna leave the receivers on the floor for y'all. There's a lot to pick.
A lot. I like Ridley as a bounce back this week.
Nice.
Let me pull his numbers up. He had an inefficient week. It's not that they weren't not trying to get him the ball. He did get targeted 8 times, only caught 2 of those passes. Yeah. I did watch a little bit of that game. Were some that were just off target. There were some where he got pass interference, so he drew the flag, but he didn't get the catch. So it was just overall off game. But
I heard the conditions weren't great either.
Yeah, so you just have to have faith that Ridley, he is a special talent. He truly does possess the talent to be a WR1. I think the Jaguars know that, and they're going to continue to try to feed him the ball. I think he has a much better matchup against the Texans this week. So I like Ridley as a bounce back. And damn, yeah, you honestly hit it with Flowers. I was going to mention Flowers if you didn't. I really like Flowers this week against the Colts. Who you thinking, Dougie?
I'm looking. I'm seeing a lot of good names here. My whole thing this week was value, guys. So I'm looking into deep in the values. At 5,000, I think you can put them in a flex spot if you need to. Roll the dice on them. Why not go Drake London? I mean, Falcons have a chance at that game being a shootout. I know you don't like that, but I mean, put up 18 last week, and at 5,000, if you can hit 20 for me, hey, I'm happy.
7 targets, yeah, 7 targets.
So I think he's getting a little chemistry with the Riddler.
The Riddler. You never know.
You never know.
I hate it. So
I love it. I love it.
I like Michael Pittman Jr.'s matchup.
I do too.
Yep. Other than that, you guys basically hit all the guys because, like Spuddy said from the jump, honestly, I think any of those top 5 guys will get you 25 and up. To be honest,
for real,
all have decent matchups, all have potentials. But I do think CD Lamb is a cat to keep his eyes on because I don't know if it was just the game script for that game, but the usage I've seen them put in the CD so far these past 2 games is crazy. So
yeah, honestly, with CD, it's like this is the type of usage we thought we were going to see last year. We didn't see that usage last year. Now this one is like, okay, they're really fucking with the CD this year. I think it might be that even CD's healthy. He's not having that nagging injury that he had last year, or he was questionable a lot last year.
Yeah, so that's just a guy I think you should keep your eye on this year. But I personally agree with Spuddy. I think Jefferson or Tyreek is breaking the slate this week. And if I had to pick one, like I said at the top of the thing, I think JJ gets in.
Yeah,
go on. Sorry.
No, sorry. I jumped the gun. Now I do have a bonus 2 players for the super values. These guys are drifting in the 4,000 range. Like this is a bonus one, and I'm pushing it. But I like Robert Woods. He's been averaging 12 points for 4,400. That's great value if you're looking for someone that low. And the same thing with Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds, his average is pretty damn good too. Last week he went off because he got 2 touchdowns, 23 points. But even without 2 touchdowns, he got 80 yards, 4 receptions, 7 targets, 12 points for 4,200. So that's because he's like the number 2 there.
Yeah, Josh Reynolds is that sneaky guy that you don't really think about, but he's there, and Goff looks to him. The thing about Goff is, as good as Amara is, and that's Goff's number 1 option. Like Goff ain't scared to go to the 2, to the 3.
He even thrown to Laporta.
Hey, he might.
He'd be thrown to Laporta. He'd be going from one way to the next porta. Huh?
Yeah, and that's.
I know.
But that's the reason why I'm not riding on Gibbs right now. Because it's just. Go ahead, Doug.
No, Doug.
Yeah, I know he's dead.
He's dead because yeah. Your choice of words there.
I mean,
got him.
Here's the thing. I've been hearing that phrase a lot during these episodes. It's only when you want to listen to it. That's the thing. I've heard Doug say a few times, and I'm like, I'm gonna let it ride. Okay, gonna let it ride. So it's only when you want to listen to it, my guy. So you can chill. Hey, settle down.
He went straight mute. He said, "What?" All right.
Yeah, but that's why Gibbs is getting like low usage because they're still with that pass first mentality. I want to say out in Lions right now. They haven't adjusted to, giving some touches to Gibbs right now, like heavy. Now Montgomery does help being out for Gibbs, But at the same time, that doesn't mean Craig Reynolds might get a few touches as well.
I mean, shit. The thing that Gibbs is missing is a touchdown, but honestly, I like the usage on Gibbs in the passing game this past week.
Exactly, like they're getting them in the passing game as well, but I mean, I feel like it could be more. I just do.
Yeah, he got 9 targets, caught 7 of them. The receiving yards didn't come with it, but he did get thrown to 9 times. So I think Gibbs we're gonna see the best of Gibbs probably starting from like either next week or week 4.
Gurley 2.0? Gurley 2.0?
2.0?
It's gonna be like Breece Hall's timeline. Where Breece Hall took a few weeks to bubble up and then he took off. Yeah.
I'll go Gurley 0.8. 0.8. 0.8.
All right.
I'm not going to give the full Gurley representation because Gurley came in the league quick but left quick.
Oh, super quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Too soon, my friend.
Yeah.
All right. To recap, we got Justin Jefferson, slate breaker, 9,300. We got Tyreek Hill, 9,000. And we scrolling down to the values. Up next, we got Nico Collins, 5,300. And Zay Flowers, 5,400. Those are the boys.
Yes, sir. Picks.
And who do we got?
We talking tight ends?
Yeah, we talking tight ends.
With the return of Kelsey, you just kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to start there. You got to just say his name. Okay, cool. Got that out the way. Self-explanatory. Chiefs, Kelsey, Mahomes. Boom, done. All right, second. I think Hawkinson.
And that's tight ends. And that's tight ends.
That's Dallas.
I think Hawkinson is great this year, averaging 8 to 9 targets a game. Just cousin loves
Hawkinson.
There you go.
Hawkinson is money this year.
Money.
4 years too late.
In a over under game of 54, you could have Justin Jefferson and Hawkinson. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not?
Do it.
Ingram also through the first 2 weeks has a total of 13 targets. Got 8 last game. In a terrible defensive game for the Jags. He was able to grind out 11 points. And the tight end position this year so far, that's pretty good. You know, outside of because Kelsey just came back, but definitely, Kelsey's first game back, only 12 points, but he's definitely going to bounce back this week against the Bears.
Hunter Henry
has been tight end 1 almost back-to-back weeks, it seems like.
He's your best bet right now, and he's pretty, he's away from the tops.
He is, 4,100. He is somewhat of a value pick. Watching the Patriots play in the night game, Hunter Henry just seems like just their blanket option, their security blanket. So, there's not much going on in that offense. There's no star power. No one's really absorbing all the targets. And when they needed to play, when they've gone to the red zone, they do look for Henry. So Henry is the veteran guy there, but he's very involved. So I like that. I like the Henry pick. Pitts, just throw him in the trash. Don't even consider him. Don't look at him. Don't look at the price. Don't consider his matchup. Don't try to talk yourself into it. Just don't do it. All right, Kyle Pitts is a hard no this week. Kyle Pitts.
I have no clue who that guy is. Never heard of him in my life.
Great.
You know
Didn't know he was on a team.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, show John Cena respect. Hey, see trash when you see trash. That's trash.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show John Cena some respect, sirs.
The top of your head, who's cheaper than all the tight ends we've talked about and has more targets than Kelsey, has more targets than Hawkinson, and has more targets than Henry and Ingram through the first 2 weeks.
Is this a trick question?
No, there's a guy at 3,500 who has more targets than all those tight ends I just named.
Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz, 18 targets for the first 2 weeks. I would like to see him catch more of them, but he is he is one of the only things going on outside of James Conner. I have Hollywood Brown, but this offense and play calling, they're involving Zach Ertz heavy.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, and especially since in a matchup where the Cardinals should be down this game, they should be down majority of the game. There's a lot of garbage time stuff for Zach Ertz available in this game. So 3,500. If you're trying to go super value, I would go there.
I like it because all he needs is a touchdown, and that choice is great.
Great choice. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I like it a lot.
This would be good if Minshew does play. I like Kylan Granson.
That he was liking him as a target.
I mean, he only had 4 targets in the game, but he got the touchdown from Minshew. And then he had a baby shoot with the football that he caught.
It was him.
It was he.
He did that.
So yeah, I like him a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bonus points for the baby shoot.
Exactly.
Any other names?
I don't know. It's a little rough.
It is. Tight end it's not that great this year. You just kind of have to get lucky. Whoever scores the touchdown.
You gotta have one of those Uzma games, where you just
don't remind me. He hasn't done anything close to that since that week. Not even close to that. I don't want to talk about it.
He's out here going on different teams just to get paid.
It makes close. That's what's crazy about that. He hasn't even came close to
close, bro. Close, nothing close, and you needed that.
Okay. You needed that.
So we're not going to air this out on this episode. We're moving on to defense. We're looking on this defense.
Okay. Let me see. I mean,
Jets, 2,800.
The Jets.
I was the Jets. The Cowboys, 4,400. They're walking.
Yeah. That's definitely,
it's a lock.
Yeah. You want to invest money in that one.
If we're looking at some value plays, I could see a value play with Manders at home against the Bills, making the Bills struggle a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But other than that, I don't like the teams around them.
Hey, I'll tell you this. Okay, I'm pulling up last week. I'm so mad because we were almost right for the first half of the game. Cardinals were doing the right things, Let Giants go to get a goose egg and everything. Got an interception, got a sack. And then the second half happened, and they just fucked it up.
They just completely fell apart.
Yeah, and we're like, yo, we were almost geniuses. We were almost geniuses for this Cardinal pick. But now we look like dumbasses. I just wanted to
said, no. Funny story. We're actually the ass team.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
Giants.
and that I'm sorry.
I can make a slight case maybe for the Colts defense at 2,400. If you really wanted me to, I can make a case for it.
Oh, I could. Hey, President, you're gonna find this funny. I could make a case for the Titans defense
against Deshaun Watson.
Yes. Yes.
Deshaun is struggling.
Man.
No, the Titans defense got lit up. I thought they were gonna do better than that. But Deshaun is struggling.
Exactly. Like I can see Titans at least being opportunistic. I can't even pronounce it.
Optimistic?
No.
Opportunistic.
Opportunistic with Deshaun Watson just struggling because watching that Monday night game, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was bad.
Woof.
He was bad.
Steelers defense 8.
TJ Watt, man, crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
I'm not saying Titans could do that, but there's a chance.
No,
take a chance on me.
Take a chance on me.
they do have one of the lowest over-unders of the week at 39.
Mm-hmm.
So that game is projected
Saints,
to be low scoring.
Hey, Saints, I think would be nice. Saints defense.
Jordan Love looks solid, but Saints defense has always been a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, different plays you could do all over this thing.
Take a chance.
All right.
Take a chance.
Get us wrapped up, Dougie.
All righty, ladies and gents, let's go wrap up the DraftKings lineups for the week. I don't know why I'm like struggling to talk right now. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up week 3 for DraftKings, ladies and gents. Thank you for listening and tuning in as always. Hopefully we can win you guys some money this week. We have the Dookie list coming out. It has some difficulties uploading, but it's coming out. Gonna have to remake the whole episode, but hey, I'll do it for you guys and only you guys. Just make sure you subscribe and follow. That's all I ask. We got Spuddy Quick Picks dropping this week. We just uploaded our live watch from Sunday onto our YouTube, so make sure you guys go check that out if you haven't. We might have another live watch coming up this week. We will let you know on all our social media accounts, so make sure you give those a follow. It's always Buzz and Sports for any and everything you look up. And yeah, things coming out this year. Hope you guys are having a good year in DraftKings Fantasies. If not, this week is the week to get the cheddar, baby. As always, we appreciate you guys who do listen and tune in. And we'll be back next week for this DraftKings week number 4. As always, I'm Doug. He's Steven. He's Francis. And we are out of here.